Hey guys, it's Scrappy Stuffy, and I wanted to come and bring you a really quick card tutorial. I had done this card about 2 or 3 years ago. Someone had showed me how to do it. Got a little bit of ink on it tonight, actually. Um, Someone had showed me how to make this card using this technique with nothing but just plain cardstock and some ink pads and a stamp set. And I had forgotten all about it, and I was digging through some cards the other day, and I found it, and I thought, I haven't made that card since I made this one. So tonight I sat down and I literally made this card right here in about 10 minutes. And this is so stinking easy, and it's a cute way to make just a very simple card. And I thought I would share with you guys really quickly. We will actually make one together. I'll show you how to make this. This is so easy. Um, I'm using an A2 card. You actually don't have to have any particular size, but for me it made it easier. I'm using some already made A2 envelopes. So an A2 card is 4.5 by 5.5. So if you're using a plain white piece of cardstock like I did, I cut it down to 8.5 by 5.5. Then I scored it in the middle and folded it, and that made my A2 card. The matte finish here, you can use any color you want. It is 3.5 by 4.5, and then the white core that you're actually going to stamp on is 3 1/4 by 4 3/8. You need 3 different colors of ink. Dye ink works the best, simply because it dries quicker. And then you need whatever color of ink you're going to actually stamp your stamps with. And then ribbon or twine dresses it up, or some jute. I've got some jute string I may use. And then really all you need is your white cardstock or any color cardstock, any color of cardstock. I'm using white cardstock. And then the next card I'm going to make, I'm going to set these two aside. So we're going to make one of these cards tonight. I'm going to show you how easy this is. I have already cut my pieces down. So I've got my A2 card base. And then I have my mat that is 3.5 by 4.5. And then I have the inner core that is 3 1/4 by 4 3/8. And so this is what we're going to come up with when we're done. So I'm going to set this aside, and I just need my core. And I have chosen 3 Ranger archival inks. You can use any inks you want to. Like I said, the dye ink works best just because it dries quicker. So I'm using leaf green, aquamarine, and coffee. The other thing you need, guys, is some washi tape. Or you can also use masking tape or painter's tape. Any of them work. So we're going to tear off, I use washi, that's what I have handy. I'm going to tear off a piece about 5 or 6 inches long, like so. You decide what ink you want on the bottom. I want the coffee colored ink on the bottom. And basically you're just going to take your tape and, let me move this over here. You're going to take your tape and just pat it on the ink pad. You don't want to saturate it, but you do want to get enough to where the ink is going to transfer. And if you see any pieces on the tape where it looks like maybe the tape didn't pick up, go ahead and grab it. You want your tape a little bit wider than your actual piece of paper. Set it down on your cardstock where you think you are going to begin. I'm going to set it down like so. Just lay it down, rub your finger. What you're doing is transferring the ink onto the cardstock. It kind of gives it a neat little funky pattern. Uh-oh. Well, now I have to say, guys, I've never had that happen before, but it looks like the paper came up with the tape. See if we can do it this way. Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to probably end up putting an embellishment there. I have honestly never had that happen before. But I'll end up putting an embellishment there. So we're going to keep on for the sake of continuity and continue with this video. And then I will use that as a reason to create. What is that? What do they say about when you make mistakes like that? It is an excuse to be creative. So we're going to do this with the green ink next. Again, I'm just going to lay the ink, the paper on the ink. You don't want to saturate because then your page will be too dark, which it'll be okay. I mean, if you wanted it that way, that would be fine. Lay the next layer over. Hopefully this one won't stick. I will pull it up more carefully this time. Yeah. See, it just kind of leaves a really neat, different design. And then I just throw it in the trash when I'm done with that. And then the last one I will use is the aquamarine. I really like this archival ink. I've used several different inks, and I have used Stampin' Up. I've used Memento, which I really do like Memento, but honestly, I truly feel like the archival ink gives the crispest, why can't I say that word? Crispiest, how's that? Crispiest image. Don't know why I couldn't say that, of all the inks. That was kind of funny. I had a hard time saying that word, guys. Crispiest. I don't know why that was so hard. Okay. Now, I have that, and how easy was that? The other thing I'm going to do, you pick out a stamp set. I have picked out, if I can find it, what did I do with my stamp set, guys? Here it is, right in front of my face. I picked up the stamp set at Michael's for $3.99. It's kind of vintagey travel. And so I just thought this would be a cute stamp set to make a card out of. I think I've only used it maybe once. And I think I'm going to use the Eiffel Tower. And I'm actually going to leave a space. And I'm going to put a little button there, I believe. So I'm going to use Enjoy the Journey. We're going to stamp this, and I'm going to use my black archival ink. I usually try to saturate the image pretty good. I don't mind if it has a little bit of space here and there, because it does kind of give it maybe a vintagey kind of look, but I do try to saturate it as much as possible. Put this down here. I already started there. I guess we'll do it here. I actually forgot. I've got a little bumper here that I keep under when I do stamp, and I forgot to put that under. The stamping is not going to be perfect. I'm not taking a great time to do this, and if it doesn't turn out, it's fine. I will toss it and start all over, but this may end up okay. Sometimes what we perceive as mistakes, other people actually either don't notice or they think it looks just fine. A lot of times I've made things and said, oh gosh, it looks horrible. And somebody else will come along and go, oh no, it looks great. We didn't even notice. So, sometimes you see things other people don't see. Excuse me. Because I've not used this stamp before, I'm actually taking a little sander. I like to roughen up my edges on my clear stamps. Now, a lot of people do, I've seen it different ways. I've seen people that just stamp it repeatedly on some scrap paper just to season it up. I have seen people use an eraser, just a pencil eraser, and I have actually done the eraser too. But my best method is just to take a little sander. I keep this little tool in my little scrap kit over there, and I just sand up the edges, and all that does, it seasons up that really smooth acetate, acrylic. I guess they're acrylic stamps. It seasons it up so that it grabs hold of that ink. So that's all it's doing. I'm going to ink my, because especially when you have a big solid surface like this, especially on the new stamps, they don't want to grab the ink really well. Now I'm going to put my bumper underneath it here. It's just a little piece of foam. Kind of helps give the stamp a little bit of bounce. I'm going to try to get this close enough to where I can put my button down and it will actually make sense. Give it press, give it time for the ink to actually transfer. Hopefully that will do over good. Yep, that did just fine. wipe. I use baby wipes to wipe my ink off with. And then I'll set that over here. Now, I'm going to pause the video just a minute. Because I didn't anticipate needing to add a button here, I need to go find one. So I'm going to pause just a moment, guys. Okay, guys, I'm back. Instead of putting a button, I've decided to take this little metal charm. It's a butterfly. And I'm actually going to add that to it. So what I'm going to do to make sure that this little spare piece adheses down, I'm going to put just a little bit of tape there. Hold that down, and then I'm going to get some pop dots or some see if I can find my good ones here. Hold on, guys. Okay, I found some dimensionals, which I'm going to add. I added to my butterfly. I'm going to pop it off a little bit. So this is an unexpected little thing, but I think that looks okay. Now, before I put it on my brown cardstock, I'm going to get some jute. This is Jimmy Rig. This is actually I think this was the bottom of a cup, and I took a pencil and hot glued it. Now, I'm sure there are very much more professional ways to do this, but then I took all these rolls of jute and stuck it on here so that it can stick on my desk and I can actually pull as much as I want off. That is kind of a backwoods way to do it, but nobody's ever accused me of being professional. Well, maybe once, but they were mistaken. So yeah, so I think I'm going to put some jute on here. Do you believe? I'm going to put a little bit of Tombow tape on here just to hold the jute down while I tie it. And I think I'm going to start in the front. Yeah, across it here. And then I'm going to cross this one here. Now, I'm going to go ahead and put the rest of my Tombow tape on. I use Tombow adhesive. I use Adtech. I've used Doris. Probably Tombow is my adhesive of choice, but you know, if something else is on sale, I am inclined to use it as well. So I'm going to try to center this in my mat. And then I'm going to go ahead and come around and tie the rest of my jute here and try to get a little bow going here. I didn't get that super tight, but I think it'll be okay. This is probably the hardest part of the video to watch, is watching someone tie a string. Now, the only other thing I've got to do is put my adhesive on the back of my mat. And then put that on my base of my card. Hopefully this is all on camera. I would have preferred that to be down a little bit better. Now, if you want to put something on the inside, I don't actually see anything on this that I would like to put. So I am actually going to leave it blank. And this is the card. That turned out pretty cute. And that's how, that's how easy it is, guys, with some plain cardstock, a stamp set, and 3 stamp pads. So I just wanted to share. I hope you all enjoyed this, and I hope someone tries it. It's very super simple. What'd that take? Maybe 10 minutes? And you've whipped up a really cute card. Actually, when I made, not this one, excuse me, but when I originally made this one, I actually made a set of these. My intent was I was going to make them and give them away, and then I ended up using them. But, you know, you can easily make a set of 3 or 4 of these cards to give as a gift. and you know, it may take you 20 minutes to do the whole thing. So really super easy, guys. Thank you for watching. I hope you all enjoyed this, and I will catch you on the next video. Bye bye.